And we are live on Jazz Street with Miguel Zenon and Luis Perdomo. Welcome back to Rochester, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
Well, for you, Miguel, congratulations on your new album, Típico, as well as all the other incredible things happening to you the last year or so.
Thank you, thank you.
So talk about getting that phone call for the MacArthur thing. What was that like? I can't even imagine.
Well, it was a long time ago, so it's,
Yeah.
but it's hard to forget. It was actually my wife's birthday that day,
Really?
and I didn't get the phone call because I was asleep. I got the voicemail, and I called back, and sure enough, the guy actually, he asked me, "Are you sitting down?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am sitting down." And he was like, "Blah blah blah, this happened," and I was like, "Great." So that obviously changed a lot of things and opened up a lot of doors and opportunities. So I'm very, very grateful. I've been trying to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I know it's been a few years, but I still have to ask you because I still can't imagine. But now with the newest release, Típico, describe that process and how you're able to come about in terms of pulling the tunes together, composing it, and then putting it into the studio for the guys to play. That must have been an amazing journey.
Yeah, it was great. I've been playing with these guys for a very long time now, over 15 years, and we've made a lot of records together. A lot of the records that we've made recently have been larger ensembles. Like basically we put the music together as a quartet, and then we have, we kind of bring other musicians into the studio and make it into this grander things, more conceptual things. So I've been kind of looking forward for a while to writing music that was solely for us as a quartet, to kind of just have it be a platform for what we've been doing for the last decade and a half or so, and very happy with the result. Very happy to be taking it on the road and playing this music for the public out there.
We're speaking to Miguel Zenon and Luis Perdomo here on member-supported Jazz 90.1. We pass the mic to Mr. Perdomo. Luis, welcome back to Rochester.
Hey, Derrick. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's glad to be here.
And talk about your last two projects. Since the last time we spoke, you've actually had two albums that have come out in the last
Yes,
couple
I
of
had
years.
a solo jazz record that came out last year, and also a quintet record that I did with the Crisscross Jazz label.
Right.
Yeah, so those two projects came out last year, like around May.
Yeah. So for the solo project, talk about that, because it's just you, obviously, in the piano. And generally with a live performance is one thing, but in a studio, there's so many stops and starts, and there's the whole process of trying to get it right. For you, how do you keep the energy level up when you're trying to just present your music in a solo project in a studio?
Right. When like for this particular project, just because I don't really play solo too much,
Right.
I actually practice a lot. So when I got to the studios, it was just play. I just roll the tape and then just play, and so it felt very relaxed.
Yeah.
Like it almost felt as a live record. As just playing live. So.
And just turning the tape on, people can hear it.
Yeah.
So question for you, Luis. When you play, do you play for yourself, the audience, or for the musicians?
For all three, hopefully, and hopefully I get to like the three of them, especially me, because if I'm not really getting to to that spot where I'm like feeling comfortable, the message is not gonna get across.
Right.
So
Now, Miguel, a question for you, same question. When you're playing with the group, are you playing for yourself, the audience, or for the musicians on the bandstand?
I agree with Luis when he says that we're hoping that all the listeners out there are going to get to enjoy the music you make. But at the same time, I feel that, we have to be content and satisfied with what we're doing. So at a kind of like a micro level, I'm definitely thinking of my own vision first.
Right.
I'm trying to be content and trying to be satisfied with what I'm doing before I get it out there and pass it on into the public. I have to say, when we make music, obviously we're trying to communicate this music with others, but at the same time, that's not the sole purpose of it. We're making music as a way of expressing ourselves honestly and trying to be as pure and honest as possible. And if we get to connect with the people who are listening to it, that's a plus, of course.
Yeah.
But I don't see that as the first kind of step. I see, that this inner search as the first step, and then you kind of take it out there.
And you can see that inner self search happening at 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock tonight with the Miguel Zenon Quartet. Miguel, thank you so much for joining us. Luis, thank you so much again.
Thank you very much.
And best of luck to you and your future projects.
Thank you. Thanks for having
All
us,
right.
man.
Yeah, cheers.